at this rig setup I made that lets me play with this model in a nice efficient way. Nothing too special. This isn't about any sort of production rigging system, nothing like that. This is just about trying to give yourself some early and quick options while you're getting ideas together. It's not that hard to put this stuff together once you've done it a few times. And when you're not doing it for a video, you're not doing it for narration or anything, and you're just got your head into the software and you're busy, this does not take that long. Right, I'm just trying to look for little strange spots that don't fit right. The lip line doesn't fit right. You can see it with the other isoparms there. You can see that, right? Kind of show you that there. That'll have to be dealt with. The eyeballs seem to be working okay, right? And those green spots you see on the model on the right-hand side, those are the command regions. Pretty easy to set up in there. I go through that I think at least three times during this video. Alright, and that little controller right there just allows me to do exactly what you see happening. Right, those little command regions on the eyeballs or the eyelids. Okay, here's this little one I got done for the mouth, just to have a little bit of variety. Right now they're working as one unit, but I will probably break them down into a right side, left side before I move on. The model you're seeing right now all stretched out is the one I'm leaning towards taking into ZBrush. Once I've got this all worked out, I'm going to spend a video kind of twerking it around, bending things, and deforming things to see which one I like best. Then I'll take that one and send those models over to ZBrush to do some sculpting. And to get some maps, then end up bringing them back into here, into Modo. And you see the three palettes sitting there, the command regions, weighting, and the deformers. At this stage, I usually got those open, or at least I'm ready to open them when needed. Okay, we're just doing a quick little UV on the head. It's not going to be too critical. We're just getting something to get some initial ideas out over in ZBrush and get some textures and some sculpting data. Nothing too special. In this video I make that back of the head really small. I was thinking I'm probably not going to show it or not going to need it, and the stretching won't cause a problem, but I think I'm going to redo the UVs just to get the back of the skull and the face to be a little bit more in line with each other. You'll see it right here in a second. Right, I just make that back of that head too small, I think. Too much stretching will happen. I just take these, put those back in, sew them together. I do it again for some reason. Do it to the other side, get those. You get it just close and hit that sew button, you're set. You'll see what I do here with the smooth brush. Select it, then I only smooth what's selected. Yeah, those pieces won't be seen at all, so I'm just put them over in the corner. Do a little bit of sewing, just tidy things up. I don't think it's really needed. But I think I'm going to redo the UV on this one before I go into ZBrush. Right, the areas I'm looking at are all pretty good. It's just a little bit of stretching along the sides. I might want to put some details in that head. Okay, doing the weight maps here, I'm getting that line. That green line there, those things and everything inside have to be 100%. That way it will move together with the eye meshes. That lid and the eyeball. So okay, I set the weight map, gave it a name. Now I'm getting these palettes ready that I'll be needing. Setting up the viewport for a little bit. Let's see, there we go. Turn it off. Okay, get that. Now, You can see the tool properties up on the right hand side, or actually on the left hand side. Those will be changing. You can see exactly what I'm doing if you need to. A lot of little smoothing operations. You'll see me do that smooth selected and smooth a lot. Then I'm coming back always to make sure I've got that at 100%. Those vertexes have to be 100 to get this thing to move right. Okay, so right now I've got information in there, and I want to get access to being able to move it around. So you move things with transforms, so I get a transform effector. I got to put it into position and make sure it's hooked up. Alright, okay, rename it, give it a nice little name. Right, so that's the little rig that makes this happen. Those three little pieces. So I want to have an intermediary rig, a little container that's going to hold all that point data from the eyeballs. See, I brought that down into the face weight, and that goes into the other transformer, which is the face, and combined they get moved by the face mover. And I'm just setting up command region now so we can see it. I click that little spot there, and I'll get it. So I click both of those together. You see they're both involved in the weight. Okay, now I'm doing one for the mouth. Same thing we just did. So I need to move all of that right now. You'll see me go through some back and forth here, getting this weight map together. I'm trying to decide how it's going to interact with the rest of that model. If it's too sharp, it bends a lot and you don't get a lot of freedom. So you really got to spread that out along those edges so you don't get anything too crazy as far as pinching. That way these little motions and movements and things I'll be doing with that front of the mouth will blend into its surrounding jaw and cheek area and the nose. Okay, so that got lucky. That one popped right into place. Alright, so I'm going here and I'm labeling things. There's that weight container now. I'm going to put the teeth points, all those vertexes in the teeth, in the gums. All of that's going to go into this weight mat, or this weight container. Right? Okay, I'm going to go get the mouth mover, bring it in. Right, there's that. There's the transformer that goes to the mouth. I labeled those red just so I can know that those are the things that do the moving. Okay, that works pretty good. Now you can just see me come in here and adjust these weights a bit. Take them down to 0 on that outer ridge, and then start smoothing and lowering the other ones. See, I got a nice little bend there now. At the corners of the mouth there, I think I could stand to smooth those out a little bit again. Right in the corners to get the cheek cowl and that little mouth cowl to move along with it. Maybe a little, I don't know, we'll see. I set that at 250, 250, but it doesn't seem to matter what size I set this at. See that 128, 128? Even then it gives that error. I'm not doing something right. I'm not reading something right. Okay, I'm just tidying these things up a little bit. Right? That yellow and blue feed into the red, right? The red is what controls both of those things. All right, I'm adding another transformer. This is going to be that controls the jaw. You could do this with skeletons or bones, but there's almost no need for them if you don't need it. Let me see. There's almost no need for them if you don't need it. Right? Alright, just getting kind of a rough outline about that jaw area and half of the mouth. Alright. All of this just needs to move. But you'll see I won't let it all go at 100%. 100% just looks a little strange. You just start with the 100 so we kind of see what's happening. back it off a little. You see me do some smoothing there. Now I'm going to save this selection set for exactly those points so I can have access to it later on if I need it. And I think I will. So it's looking okay. It's not 100%, right? So when I get this locator into position where I need it, I'm just doing some tidying up there. There it is. Move this up into where I think I want the jaw to kind of bend. Okay, some labeling, tidying things up, getting things ready. Just should have turned that red. Okay, it's not too bad. It's a good place to start on that. I'll be dinking with this little lip for a little while. Again, none of this is for any sort of a production animation aspect, but just to give a early look development a lot of variety. Right? Once you get used to doing this kind of a workflow with a model, it's really quick work to get a little control rig set up to give yourself some variation. Okay, just tidying things up. Remember, the red things are what move everything behind it. Okay, I just made a little command regions to control that. Just click that little spot on the chin, and the controller in the back shows up. There, I went and grabbed that selection set so I can play with this a little bit more. I think I could have slowed this part down a little bit, see that a little bit better. Right, the teeth, gums, and the tongue are all moving 100, right? It's moving 100% of those vertexes with that controller in the back. The mouth isn't, so I'm putting the ones up to 100 that I need up there, right? I don't want it all 100 because I want to have some, what do you say, a little bit of lag around the lip area where the jaw moves first and it pulls the lip with it. Just a couple of few percent on a weight map is all that takes off of a 100, right? If all that was 100, it would look really weird. So I'm doing these together on each side. Right, I kind of work myself into where I want to have 100. And I do a lot of smoothing back and forth. Yeah, just smooth select and get a nice arc. Now I've got both of those made. You'll see how I go in here and do half and half. Whoops, I fucked up. Oh, I messed up that right there. Right? I do them both in symmetry, right? Then I duplicate them. Then I have two with both sides. And then I just go back in and delete the right one for whichever one's labeled. And just some command regions. Select your polygons, and then you set a command to it. It's not too hard. Read what it says. See how that thing jumped down all the way down there? I've got something messed up in this thing. That's why it's not for animation or anything other than just a detailed look development. Once things are kind of getting good on paper and you're starting to get your models together, you if you got the time and you got the know-how, I guess, have you done it over and over and over again, this doesn't take as long as it looks like. Now that center line, I think I need to add some weight to in that mouth lip area. It's coming into too much of a fold, too much of a point there. Okay, just making sure everything's working together. Again, all those red things in the schematic, that's what does the action, right? That's what's moving everything to the left. The stuff on the right moves things to the left. The stuff on the left feeds the thing on the right. And I'm just watching that front lip. I think I need to soften that a little bit. You'll see me go do that here. Right, I just took the weights down a little bit, finding a good spot, good sweet spot on it. It's not always easy. But if you got some good typology and good polygon flow, weighting isn't that much of a problem. Again, that center line there, I think I want to play with that a little bit. It's coming to too much of a point. And here at the end, I'm just going to do the command regions for the eyeballs. Again, it's not too hard. You're in the item, you select the polygons you want to have as a region, and you fill in the blanks. Right there, you just name it, you connect it to what you've already got built up, right? That other translator for that eyeball, or the eyelid, and then you just hook it up, give it a color, tell it what translator type you want, and it's pretty much all set. Again, proper labeling makes this really pretty easy. That front end at the beginning, when you're doing all your labeling and trying to organize things, pays off the farther into the stream you get. And this is starting to get towards where I think I'm going to be sending things to ZBrush.